Yo, yo, yo. You are listening to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. This is The Point. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo, filling in for Jim. We got ourselves a nice star-studded panel tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. Colin, let's start with you.
Hi, guys. I'm Colin. I write about the Pirates for the Post-Gazette. I work with Jason Mackey. I spend a lot of time with Stumpf. Here's my intro.
You seem a little down. Like you've been disappointed with something recently.
Yeah. Right to pull back the curtain, I'm planning on making mac and cheese after this show. I was just informed that the mac and cheese I picked out for myself is gluten-free. So I'm a little rattled if I cry a little during this, if I shed a tear, if something goes wrong, then that's what I'm thinking about.
All right. Understandable. No mercy, though, everyone. No mercy when it comes to the voting. All right. Top right, Platinum Key. And I'm calling you Platinum Key. I will always call you Platinum Key, by the way. Apparently you have a name and it's Mark, but Platinum Key, introduce yourself.
Yeah, Mark, Platinum Key. I tweet about the Pirates and just started a podcast with Noah Hiles and Josh Harrison, Bucco Territory. So check that out.
There it is. Gluten-free tonight or not?
No gluten-free for me tonight.
Nice. Strong performance coming on the way. All right, bottom left, Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex Stumpf. I'm going to try to make Colin Beazley cry tonight before he has his mac and cheese. And I am powered by gluten and nothing but. So this should be a good show.
Awesome. And that's Neil. No one needs to know about him. All right, guys. So let's go ahead. We got the point coming on. All right. Introduce yourselves. So we can have the trolls in the comments.
Real salty.
Introduce yourself, Neil.
You lose 4 times to someone in NCAA. It really changes you as a person. I'm Neil. Occasionally I show up on North Shore 9. And unlike the comments, I'll not be talking about Georgetown basketball because they make me depressed.
Nice. I used to remember what basketball was, but then the Big East crumbled, as we're also talking pre-show here. But anyhow, let's go forward. We got a good show tonight on The Point. We got 3 pretty solid topics in a time where nothing's really happening. But before we do, I always like to do and introduce a little bit of an icebreaker, and no pun intended, an icebreaker. It is like Snowmageddon up there. I want to know what you guys are doing. Maybe not so much Colin, but tell us what are you guys doing this week to entertain yourselves and get through this? Mark, let's start with you.
Talking to Pirates players. That's been basically the focus of my week so far. Just bunkered down, and yeah, so it's been fun. Got to chat with Jake Mangum and Isaac Mattson. So
don't flex too hard, man. That shirt's gonna crumble.
Yeah, you know.
All right, Neil.
Well, luckily,
Neil, what are you doing this week?
my line of work is directly affected by snow, so I haven't had the work this week, which has been pretty nice. So I've been making my way through Into Thin Air. Really good book so far. Alex is going to hate me for this. I only just watched Blade Runner 2049, and I've been working on my chess game. So just a couple of my hobbies.
Where'd you fall in 2049? This is important.
It's so good. Like 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. It's going to go. I put on Letterboxd 9 out of 10. So good.
What did you ask him though, Alex?
If what he thought about 2049. That is one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
He just said real good. Is this like a LeBron James thing going on here? Did you actually read it?
It's a movie.
Oh. Never mind.
So DiNardo hasn't seen it. All right.
Top left, Colin.
Honestly, it's too cold to go outside, so I've spent as much time in my apartment as humanly possible. I've barely gone outside. I've spent my time scrolling Twitter, looking to see if anyone has Eugenio Suarez rumors, just like the rest of us. I've spent time. I've gotten into a game on my phone called Mini Metro. Spent a lot of time on that, and watched a little bit of TV.
Sounds productive.
Boring week.
All right, Alex, wrap us up here.
I am catching up on Scrubs. I'm rewatching it before the new season drops. I am going through my list of the 2025 Oscars to be ready for that in March, I guess, this year, not next month. And most importantly, I am trying to get V rank on all of the Emerald Rush courses in Donkey Kong Bonanza. I didn't know there was a V rank until about 2 weeks ago, and now it's truly sicko behavior that I am going through right now.
Well, that's a man with a plan.
I need baseball to come back so badly. I need structure in my life.
Yeah, this panel has not a whole lot of that going on right now. All right, let's get into it then. Let's talk about some Pirates baseball. So the first question I want to bring up to you guys. I mean, obviously, the thing about this year, the Pirates going to live on the pitching, right? A lot has been said about the pitching, but I want to ask you. I mean, the bullpen's lost some important pieces. I mean, David Bednar, he had a 2.37 ERA last year. Caleb Ferguson had a 3.74 ERA last year. Plan, I assume, is Braxton Ashcraft going to the rotation, and he had a 3.22 ERA. So what is it about the 2026 bullpen that makes you feel they're able to hold it down this year? Let's go ahead and start with Neil.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of interesting arms in this bullpen, and I do really like the Soto signing. And I'm a biggest Dennis Santana fan that you'll find. I feel like there's enough quality arms, and like even if you come up from the AAA, like let's say you're not convinced about Thomas Harrington being a starter, like that's someone you could slot in. But I will say this is that I'm actually a little concerned, and it's only for one reason. Two. First of all, when you talk about guys like Sisk and Matson, it's hard to like really know if those guys are like fully legit, if they're going to be able to repeat what they did in 2025. But my big thing is the Pirates should be better this year, and the Pirates should be competing in a lot more games than they did last year. And my question is are these guys who for a lot of these games were pitching in blowouts and in not close games in very low leverage situations, whether or not they're going to be able to show up when the offense is able to score more than 2 runs a game, when it's 4-3, when it's 5-4, things like that. And if that is going to be something that they can handle, and that's my big question, because I don't know. We watched a lot of low leverage baseball last year with a lot of guys who didn't have to really close games out. So that's my big question going forward.
All right. Yeah, that's pretty valid. Colin.
I'd maybe push back a little bit on the low leverage baseball. Yeah, there wasn't necessarily that many. The Pirates weren't close to playoff contention. That's clear. But they also played in more one-run games than anyone in baseball. So it's not like they were getting just kicked in on a daily basis. There weren't too many blowouts that guys had to come up and mop in. Like the bullpen was in legitimate games for the most part. But what gives me confidence that the Pirates bullpen will still be solid in 2026 is, frankly, the Pirates have earned the benefit of the doubt here. I know you can't say that about very many aspects of the Pirates organization, top down from pretty much anything, but Ben Cherington and company has been able to find quality bullpen arms for the last couple of years. There's enough intriguing pieces out there, from the Dennis Santanas and the Gregory Sotos who are a little bit more improved to guys who have stuff like the Kyle Nicholases and Mason Montgomerys. So yeah, like there's not necessarily a whole ton of guys that are super proven, but they have enough stuff, and you combine that with some organizational success and pitching coach Bill Murphy, and I think that there's a lot to like there.
Good stuff. Mentioning Bill Murphy. Platinum key.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to lose David Bednar. That stinks. Since left, but Santana stepped role really, really well. He had a 1.90 ERA. Oh, what?
I think you're back. You're cutting. You sound like a robot for a second.
Oh, sorry.
It's not me this time.
Yeah. All right. So I was just saying, Dennis Santana, since David Bednar got traded, he stepped into that closer role extremely well. 1.90 ERA, 10 saves from August 3rd on. So that excludes the August 1st game at Coors, that 16-17 game where he gave up 5 runs. But Santana looks great. I love the upgraded pieces, the better fit with having Gregory Soto be your setup guy, having a great left-hander that's an option. Yeah, the walk rate's a concern, but I mean, he's continue to improve to get more swing and miss. He's a great fit for PNC Park. As far as like his StatsCast career expected home runs, that's the third least home runs he would give up in any ballpark is PNC Park. So I love the fit with him. Montgomery, a little concerning, but I love the upside. A lefty that can throw 99. His fastball did get hit quite a bit last year, despite that velocity. Opposing batters were hitting 311 against it. But Gregory Soto struggled early, throwing really fast as a lefty. Maybe he can, show something to Montgomery and help rein in that control a little bit. And then finally, we get Justin Lawrence back. He went out in April. So we get that filthy sweeper back. Kyle Nicholas, the stuff is still there. And we have a full season of Isaac Mattson. So I'm really optimistic about this bullpen that was good last year. And I think they have potential to be even better, if not great. So.
And then Alex, take us home again.
Dennis Santana is a big part of this equation here. I think people maybe didn't fully appreciate how solid he was over the course of the year in a variety of different roles. And if you take away just like that really brief hiccup, it wasn't even a full week, I think, right after the trade deadline, and he inherited the closer role where he struggled. Like, he had a ERA well below 2 the rest of the way. He was second on the team in WAR last year. I feel very comfortable with him being in the 9th inning. As Mark said, Justin Lawrence is back for a full year, but there are 3 real wild cards I have for this bullpen that if even just one of them hits, I think it could be huge for the whole group. And it's Kyle Nicholas, who we've all seen the stuff. It's Mason Montgomery, who has elite stuff. I mean, Aroldis Chapman is the only lefty who's thrown harder than him ever. And the third is a prospect who's going to start as a starter, but could be moved to a bullpen role if the opportunity presents itself. And that's Antoine Kelly, who I think is he was the best minor league pitcher I saw in person last year. It was ridiculous stuff. I think he's someone that Pirates fans maybe don't know as well as they probably should. Not that I'm blaming anyone right now, but like I think we're going to be talking about him so much differently next year. What's his role? Is he going to be a starter? Is he going to be the closer? What else? What he could be? I think highly enough that he could be in any type of role. I see him being used as a reliever at some point in 2026. And if you could go to him for 2 innings in like an Andrew Miller type role, that would be enormous for this entire pitching staff.
Wow. Ace Antoine Kelly.
I think he could be a bullpen ace.
The very first responder of the NS9 Really Stupid Question, Antoine Kelly, as well. So,
Team Netherlands.
I was there for it.
Interesting. Well, good stuff. Now, I mean, I think I agree with a lot of what you guys said, right? But I do want to look on the outset here and just think, like, I am kind of concerned about like the late innings. You lose David Bednar. Caleb Ferguson had a little bit of experience in that sense. He closed sometimes with the Dodgers and whatnot. Dennis Santana is coming up, and you did mention he had to have a really good ERA finished out. He'd have 16 saves here. But like the thing about Dennis Santana, he's not really the strikeout king, right? He's not really out there Kane guys. He relies a little bit on the defense and such. I'm going to go back to Neil on this, because you big Santana truther and whatnot. Are you concerned at all on like the late innings and like having the shutdown guys in this bullpen?
I'm not concerned about Santana. I know he doesn't strike people out like you want, but he's a winner. I am concerned about guys who fill in like the 7th or 8th inning roles. I think once Jones is healthy, and I know we're going to get to Jones later, but like once he's healthy and Majinski's able to go into the bullpen, that's someone you're probably comfortable throwing in the 7th inning spot. I said I like Soto, but I do think he's a little bit of a wild card. His numbers weren't fantastic last year. The stuff is clearly still there. But I do think just in terms of who you have in like known entities, like I said before, it is a concern because you don't know what you're going to get. But I do think Colin was right in saying that this team does get good bullpen arms and that generally speaking, they do well in high leverage situations. So there's those 6 inning guys that I'm really concerned about too, that will keep games close, but they do get the benefit of the doubt, but I'm worried.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sounds like a very different answer from the first time you spoke, but
I went like 3 different ways. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you
Like
did.
I said, like all I will say is that if you peruse Baseball Reference, there's a lot of long red lines indicating blowout losses. So I think my first point was correct.
I just want to say Neil's like gave like the politician answer. He's like, I'm going to cover all bases. Everyone who's worried
Yeah.
about anything, I'm talking to you. And just listen to this part. Anyways, I'm going to go to Platinum Key up here because you brought up David Bednar. I'm going to throw you a little bit of a curveball here. Do you think it was a mistake to trade David Bednar last year? Or was that the right move given the state of the organization?
Oh, come on. That's tough. I mean, I do think freeing up that money to go and fill gaps elsewhere makes a lot of sense, especially when you have Dennis Santana on the roster. It stinks that the Pirates aren't a team where it's like, yeah, we can spend money and go get this guy. Sure, bring him back. Bring back the Yinzer, of course. But with a limited budget and how good the bullpen is already, as we're sitting here right now without him, taking that money and spending it elsewhere made a lot of sense.
All right. And Alex, I want to talk to you too a little bit here about, I mean, you did bring up Antoine Kelly, so let's go to that. What about the depth? Again, I know you're talking to Antoine Kelly, that's part of that, but like overall the depth, I mean, are you a little bit worried about the depth and actually like the quality of depth on this in this bullpen?
I mean, I think it's fair to be concerned, to some level. I mean, but I think most teams would be concerned about who their 6th or 7th inning guys. Like hardly anyone has, just this Death Star bullpen. I think there are enough talented people here that some of them are just going to hit based off of the pitching team that the Pirates have assembled and kind of pure probability at that point. Like there's just too much stuff in this group for it not to be the case. Like if we were only talking Kyle Nicholas, then I think there'd be a very real cause for concern. If we were only talking Montgomery, if we were looking to a double-A pitcher like Antoine Kelly or Wilbur Dotel, like that'd be more of a red flag for me, rather than there are just enough guys here that I could find the 10 guys that they could cycle through that could give some level of major league quality innings.
All right, good stuff. And Colin, you bring up Bill Murphy. Is there anyone in particular in this bullpen that you're looking forward to that you might feel like, hey, you know what? This is the guy that I'm real hopeful for, Bill Murphy coming in, that he could become the weapon that maybe we're expecting. I'm not giving you an answer, but like maybe like a Kyle Nicholas, like, guys that have some stuff that haven't really put stuff together. Is there maybe a person that you're looking forward to this year at the bullpen?
Well, see, you look like you're giving me the answer now because I was going to say Kyle Nicholas. Now it just looks like you're feeding me answers, but
Well,
I
really
really
feeding you gluten.
I really am interested to see what they do with Kyle Nicholas and with Mason Montgomery. I think that those are 2 guys that, as we've talked about a number of times, they just the stuff is so clearly there, and neither of them have had the results. But I think that either of them, you can, with a tweak here, a tweak there, maybe it's mental, maybe it's mechanical, maybe it's adding a new pitch. I don't know exactly what it is, but they've shown enough in their brief major league stints that show me that there is something there that can be harnessed and used by the Pirates. That's not to say that either of them are going to be 1.5 ERA guys, but I think that they can be weapons out of the bullpen at some point and in some role. And that's part of what gives me confidence is guys like them with stuff like that.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's move on to the next question then. So I gave you guys a little bit of a task here. Now the Pirates are currently, so Zips has them at a 74 wins. FanDuel, as states right now, the over and under on them is 77.5, 4th in the division. Gave you guys $10 million, which I think is about reasonable with the Pirates. You're hearing things here and there. They might have about $10 million to work with. So I'm giving you guys $10 million right now on this team as your budget. What moves are you making to make this 2026 team a playoff team? Alex, start with you.
Mine is not the sexiest answer. I am signing Jose Quintana. If I have any money left over, I'll throw it in the bullpen at that. Like, I think right now, after you traded Johan Oviedo and you traded Mike Burrows, you need starting pitcher depth. The only 2 guys on this roster who have thrown 140 innings in a professional season are Paul Skeens and Mitch Keller. I'm high on Bubba Chandler. I'm high on Braxton Ashcraft. I'm high on Jared Jones, on a lot of these, young guys. But I don't expect them all to throw 180 innings this year. You can't count on that. I want another veteran leader. I want someone that I feel good giving 160 innings to, and also someone who, just based off of the experience I had covering him in 2022, elite clubhouse guy, great guy to throw in there. That would be my number one target.
Love it. Colin.
I mean, I think we were all going to say some version of sign Jose Quintana, but
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Thanks,
all right,
DiNardo. Checks in the mail.
Yeah.
No, if you got 10 million, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you Eugenio Suarez 10 million and defer 50 million.
I swear, am I sharing my screen right now? Like, this is straight off my notes. Yeah. Okay.
Go ahead. We're deferring the money. We're just that's the 10 million you're spending there. But no, if you're not going to go with my boring answer of Quintana, and you're not going to go with my Dodgers answer of defer money to Eugenio Suarez, then I at this point I'll go for make a trade for Isaac Paredes and get that salary. He's making just a little bit under 10 million. He's not someone that I'm 100% confident in, considering like he's such a pull hitter and he's kind of perfect for Houston's ballpark and seems to fit really, really well there. But he's someone that I do think the Pirates could make a move for. I was seeing in one of our Post-Gazette chats the other day, someone offering, I think it was like Joey Bart, Termarr Johnson, and like a Thomas Harrington for Paredes. And I have no idea if that would make sense. Kind of a crazy trade idea. But that sort of deal, if it is a price, something like that, then I would really consider making a move like that. If you're going to go with the basic, more Pirates answer than Quintana.
All right. Platinum Key. Go ahead and give your answer.
Thank gosh.
Give us plan C.
All right. Yeah. All right. So I had three things written down. Trade for a third base, sign left-handed pitcher for starting, and anything else, sign left-hand bullpen depth. Just because, I don't know, Montgomery might not work out. Then you just have Sisk and Soto. I feel like that could be something that would come cheap, like an Andrew Chafin. Maybe like bring Jalen Beeks back, see if he wants to come back again. He had a really nice year last year. But yeah, as far as third base, I think like maybe it's Zach McKinstry. Doesn't really have a lot of power, but he has that utility. He's 30, going to be a free agent in 2028. I don't think he would be too expensive despite being an all-star last year. So maybe the Tigers would be willing to part with him looking for pitching. And he just signed for $4.2 million. So factor that in. And then maybe I still keep preaching Kobe Mayo. I would love to see it. I know he hasn't had the best success in the majors, but there's serious power there. He can play third base. He does not really have any room left on the Orioles, especially after they signed Pete Alonso, Ryan Mountcastle still on their bench. So maybe Kobe Mayo could actually be cheap and fit in at third base and find some success with the playing time that's available there.
All right. Neil.
Well, I'll knock off my first one, which is sign Jose Quintana. So that was, I guess Tyler Anderson can fit there too, but I like Quintana more. And then I have two trades because Quintana takes up like that most of that 10 million. I don't exactly know what the numbers will be, but he would be close to 10. And so my target is off the back of the Twins firing their president today. And we need a third baseman, and I've been in love with this guy for years. And so if there is some way that you can convince the Twins to part with Royce Lewis, I would be the happiest man in the world. Like the power this guy has is incredible. I know he's made of glass, but I think that's a type of risk that you take on. He's making less than $3 million this year and has club control for 2 more years, I want to say, I think, when I looked earlier. So I would love Royce Lewis. And then another guy, like not Kobe Mayo, but who's blocked, is Jordan Lawler from the Diamondbacks. Perdomo, I believe, just signed a big extension. He's going to be their shortstop for the next half decade. He has absolutely no place on the team. It's kind of clear the Diamondbacks don't want him. And so I feel like a former top 10 prospect, a guy who's good with the glove, potentially bring him and see what happens at bat. He can play shortstop if you need to stop bat for Griffin, and then he can like filter in through the infield, or if you want to put Griffin in the outfield, whatever, if it works out. But like it gives you some flexibility on the left side of the infield that you didn't have before. So yeah, Lewis and Lawler would be my guys. Is it realistic? No clue. But those would be guys I target.
Okay. Well, interesting stuff, guys. I appreciate that. So the next question we want to go to, and it's kind of timely here also because, well, let's effing go. It's what he said. Jared Jones is on the mend. It seems like the rehab's going well. He's back to throwing. The timeline was 10 to 12 months, which means he can pitch anytime between March and May. So it does sound like he will return early on in the season. Now, you all just gave your answer. Let's go get Quintana. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And Ben Cherington said so as well. Like, he wants to replenish what they've traded away. So I think all things point that they will sign a starting pitcher, right? So you're thinking there's going to be Skeens, there's going to be Keller, there's going to be Chandler, there's going to be Ashcraft, and whoever this, fifth starter is, right? If and when Jared Jones comes back and everyone's healthy, what do you do with Jared? And I think it's kind of polarizing because I think even before the injury, people labeled him as he's probably better suited for the bullpen. He'd make an elite closer. And we just talked about the bullpen and how shaky it might look. And, it could be good, but there's some instability there. There's some risk. When Jared Jones comes back, what do you think is the plan for him? What would you do? What would you like to see? Let's start with Platinum Key. That rhymed.
Yeah. I think you give him every single chance possible to be a starter. This guy is just electric. I love watching him pitch. His stuff's great. I get he basically only relies on the 2 pitches. He doesn't really throw his curveball or changeup that much, but he's still 24. He still has plenty of time to grow. They can work him back in, kind of like what they did with Oviedo at the end of last year. A couple spot starts to start off, figure it out. But he's going to be better than any starting pitcher that they sign, I think. I think he could be better than a Jose Quintana. And if you need to move Jose Quintana to the bullpen, okay. So I think you got to give him the chance to start. If it doesn't work out, so be it. But yeah, this guy, he could be the number 3 starter in the rotation next year. And that's with Mitch Keller, with Bubba Chandler, assuming there's baseball next year. So yeah, I think you have to give him the chance to go out there and earn that spot because he's earned that chance based off what he did in 2024.
Good stuff. Alex.
So growing up, I was not a Beatles fan. Got older, started listening to them, appreciated some songs a little more. I remember being a kid and listening to My Sweet Lord by George Harrison and being like, yeah, it's a pretty good song. About 6-7 months ago, I listened to it again for the first time in, at least a decade. And I'm like, this is a brilliant song. This is unbelievable. Guys, you are in that 10-year gap where I did not listen to My Sweet Lord. And that first time that he's going to be on the mound and you hear that guitar, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, this is one of the greatest things we've ever seen at PNC Park on the mound. This dude is an incredible pitcher. I get it's a talking point right now. I don't think it's going to be a talking point the first time we see him throw a 100-mile-per-hour fastball by someone. He absolutely is a starting pitcher in my eyes. Give him that opportunity. I know there's a lot more pitching depth than there was whenever, compared to the end of 2024. I know there's a lot more upside with this rotation. I have never once thought that Jared Jones was not going to be one of those starting 5 pitchers, though.
Take us back to the Beatles and making that reference. I'll tell you. Much better than watching Masters of the Universe for the second time. Also, talking point with He-Man being as a run right now on the ads. I watched Masters of the Universe like when I was 20 for the first time since I was like a little kid, and that was awful. Just terrible movie. What an awful movie. So hopefully he will be more like that and less Masters of the Universe. Love it, Alex. All right, Colin.
I don't know what just happened, but anyway.
No, you don't.
Yeah.
Colin and I are a little too young for this.
Yeah, I thought about trying to throw Alex off his game and being like, "What are the Beatles?" And then I that's it, just to mess with him. No, but with Jared Jones, I agree with Alex that I see him as a starter, considering what he did in 2024, how good he can be, the potential he showed, and I think that he should have every chance to be a starting pitcher and to really help this rotation. But something that I kind of think can help both the bullpen and the rotation is doing a little bit of what they did at the end of last season and kind of having those piggyback starts. It's a little bit different going with something where if he comes back in May and having a lot of time left. So I don't know exactly how that would work out, but if everyone's healthy, then you can throw one of your starters into the bullpen or combine him with the Carmen Majinski or something along those lines and get it to where you don't need 7 innings from Jared Jones. You can get away with 4 or 5, and you can throw out Carmen Majinski for 2 or 3, and then bam, you can get it straight to Soto and Santana or to any of your leverage guys back there. I think that it's a way to keep Jared Jones healthy. I think it's a way that you can be careful with him because if all goes well, he's got a lot of baseball left in his career. And I think that gives him the chance to start and the chance to stretch out and the chance to do some really good things for the Pittsburgh Pirates while also not relying too much on him, given his health.
All right. I like that too. Neil, wrap us up.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to say anything that really hasn't been said already. He's like, I think he should be a starter. I mean, DiNardo, do you remember like back in 2024 and like that first like 2 months of post games with Jared Jones and just how we would spend like half the post game just talking about how crazy this guy was. Like we were talking about how he was outshining Paul Skeens being in the organization. We remember all that time when he folded that one Brewers hitter like a table. Yes. Like this guy is awesome, and he probably is just pure talents or number 2 starter. I mean, maybe Bubba Chandler edges him out, but like he not only has the filthy stuff, but he has that winning attitude. He is a dog on the mound. I love watching him pitch, and he wants nothing more than to win. I love a guy who wears his emotions on the sleeve a little bit, and so yeah, he should be starting. I want to see what he did, like the Orioles and the home opener. Like the fact that he was a rookie, barely made it out of training camp, spring training, to make and start the home opener and do that. Like that's someone I want in my rotation every day of the week.
Yeah, I do remember how silly we sounded when we said, "Hey guys, Paul Skeens might not come up and look like Jared Jones. Allow him to have his struggles."
To be fair, I don't think Paul Skeens' first 5 starts were as good as Jared Jones' first 5 starts. Like it was that good.
But that could be accurate because they were pretty dominant. All right. Well, I want to go back to Alex here because, you know, you love Jared Jones. We all love Jared Jones. He was electric. But are you also worried about the lack of pitches? Does he really need to develop that third pitch to really, really cement himself like, hey, you know what? I am comfortable that he's a starter. Or is that maybe why there's reason to think, you know what? He might be better suited as a bullpen guy.
I think the best version of Jared Jones has something that has a pitch that changes velocity and goes north to south. Whether that is the sinker, whether that's a changeup, whether that's a splitter. He was experimenting with the sinker. I'm sorry. Before 2025, before he got hurt. So maybe it's that to be his best self, probably, yes. But I don't think it's you absolutely need to have 3 pitches to be a good pitcher, a good starting pitcher in this league anymore. If you have 2 elite offerings, and in my opinion, they are both elite, you could get by on it. It'd be better to have that there just for that, you know, those days where he doesn't have the slider and he's got to just, you know, rely on the fastball, help him get through that lineup the third time. Perfect world, yes, he would have that third offering that he could go to consistently, but I don't think it's a deal breaker for him.
All right. So basically pre-black and gold Chris Archer.
What a time to be alive.
Platinum Key. I mean, you're putting him right in the bullpen. He's electric. He has great stuff. But I kind of want to go, like what Colin talked about here a little bit, is also like, do you think maybe it's best suited for him? He's coming off injury. If everyone's healthy and the rotation's looking good, I mean, the Pirates have done well with those like Carmen Majinski roles. Think about last year, they had Carmen Majinski and Ashcraft, you know, and that like that bulk guy. Do you think maybe it might be beneficial to put him into that role first, and then like once an injury comes about or something happens, okay, now you're the next man up in this rotation?
Yeah, I mean, it might be smart to ease him back in just for the first few starts, but I would not mimic anything they did with like Carmen Majinski with Jared Jones last year. Jared Jones is on a completely different level of talent. No, Majinski's great as well, but Jared Jones is he's a difference maker. And so you need to get him stretched back out. He needs to learn how to pitch those extended innings. I wouldn't be too cautious unless that's something that like the medical team is telling them. But I would push him as much as you possibly can. I think he'll be all for it and ready to go. I think if you stick him in the bullpen, I don't see him enjoying that much. So,
so you're looking out for him too mentally. You don't see him enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's especially as a pitcher. I mean, I think if you're focused on being upset that you're pitching out of the bullpen, you might not bring his best stuff. So,
yeah, that's all. That's fair. I like it. And Colin, you did talk about that. So I want to ask you if they put him in to like that bulk role, maybe early on or something. The plan is to ease him. But you know what? I could see and think in my head, like Jared Jones in that like Carmen Jincy type role off bat, he might be a hell of a weapon. I mean, you're telling Jared Jones, Platinum Key, I'm going to go the opposite way on this. I'm going to say, hey, like go out there, give me 1 inning, give me 2 innings, and just be the dog that you are. And max effort, he might have some fun with it. If he is such a weapon, is there maybe potential that he finishes the year in the bullpen? And like that's just his role this year.
I mean, maybe, but I was never saying like as a Carmen Majinski type role. I was saying that he would be the starter. He would still be the person who goes first. And
my bad.
Like maybe it ends up being 2 or 3 innings, or maybe it ends up being he is like an opener type role, at least at the very beginning while he's getting used to it. But I mean, you could think that like you could maybe try and get cute at the end of the season if you need it. But to me, he's a starter. Let him be a starter. I think he wants to be a starter. Whenever we've spoken to him, it seems like he's the type of guy that wants the assignment, wants the ball, wants this is what I'm going to do and let me go do it. And I'm not saying that he wouldn't welcome a bullpen role, but I want him as my starting pitcher, and then you can pick up whatever innings are left from there.
All right. And honestly, I have nothing for you. Anything else that you want to add to this case, or anything you want to make any rebuttal for?
I mean, on one hand, it's smart to be cautious with his innings. So I don't really mind like at the beginning doing like the piggyback stuff where he starts, gets to go as far as until he gets in trouble or something like that, or it's clear he's lost his command. But ultimately you bet on talent. And there is one pitcher in this organization that has more talent than Jared Jones. And it would be a crime to put that into the bullpen. So yeah, make him a starter.
All right. Yeah, I mean, it sounds like everyone here is on board. Like, there's no question he's a starter. Might be a little bit different how you get there, but this dude's a starter. Get him in that rotation. I love it. So I guess that puts to rest all the bullpen questions. That's why I had nothing, because like you guys, you answered everything. There's nothing. Everyone had the same points. Anyways, the polls are open now for everyone. So if you're on our YouTube channel, the poll's open. Go ahead and vote for your winner. That'll be announced here shortly. I want to thank everyone here for participating. Good talks. Let's go ahead and state your cases why you should be the winner. Let's start with Colin.
I'm going to go eat gluten-free mac and cheese after this. I need a win today. I need a win. That's simply it. But no, like, real reason I should win is because Mark's an industry plant. Stumpf kills Pirates fans' hopes and dreams. And Neil is a Georgetown fan. Do you want any of those guys to win? I don't think so. Vote for me. Vote Beazley 2026.
Love it. Frankly, I don't want any of you to win. But Mark, state your case why you need to.
Spoken like a true beat frat boy there, Colin. Come on now. I think I should win. This is my third appearance on the point, and I think I finished fourth both of the 2 previous times. So just solely on, I feel like I banked some good appearances on here.
All right. Alex.
I can't compete with the legacy pick of the legacy vote of Mark. I don't know. I'm the only one who's acknowledging George as the best Beatle. Take with that information what you will.
Okay. And Neil.
Well, that's because the best Beatle is Ringo. But you should vote for me. One, because DiNardo keeps saving me for last, and you save the best for last. But also, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to go with what Colin said. I'm a Georgetown fan. I desperately need to win somewhere in my life. So,
don't we all? Yeah.
Think of the toddlers, guys. Think of the toddlers.
There you have it. Yeah, so I welcome everyone to make sure you voted. I'm going to close the polls here in a few more seconds. But yes, again, I appreciate you all for coming on. As of right now, hold on.
You could also vote for Neil because he recognizes 2049 as a masterpiece.
That it is. Denise can do no wrong.
All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Because this is really close. But Alex is the winner tonight. Alex, congratulations.
Alex.
Followed by Colin, followed by Platinum Key.
Woohoo!
Not fourth.
Let's go.
Neil,
Let's go.
you suck.
What's the breakdown? What percent did Neil get?
Neil had 10%. So
Well,
suck
I
it,
guess
Neil.
everyone hates Royce Lewis.
Actually, I like that to some level. But
I thought that was a great. I thought that the best answer, but that's okay. People are allowed to be wrong.
Yes. So tonight's winner, Alex. Speech.
Everyone should watch Blade Runner 2049. Where did you stream it on, Neil?
Can't legally say.
Everyone should find a legal way to stream 2049 or buy a DVD, Blu-ray. Physical media is still a thing.
You are a Pirates fan, huh, Neil?
You are a pirate.
Love it, Alex. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up our show. We appreciate all of our fellow contestants for joining. There is Colin getting his victory back. Show him. Show the world.
I love how it's the biggest thing on the box too. You could not miss the gluten-free.
I didn't see it.
Oh my God. All right. So So again, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff. We'll be back Monday morning for another edition of Bucco Brew. Jim should be back. Enjoy your weekends. Bye-bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.